We are live. Welcome back to the Kweliworks Empowerment Broadcasting Network. Kat, you're muted.
This is the first show of the second season of Living the Life You Love. Hi, I'm Katherine, Maruri-Love, the producer, founder, and host. We are pleased to be back for this second season of our show. Please remember to like us and subscribe on YouTube at Kweliworks, where we can show you our previous and current shows. Today's subject of Living the Life You Love, the story of Felix Natal Jr. At risk youth becomes world famous celebrity photographer known as the Beast of the East.
Hi, I'm Kuj, your director and your other host. This series features people who have found a way, often against all odds, to live the life they love in service to others. Today's remarkable guest, Felix Natal Jr.
Felix, our upcoming guest, is affectionately known as the Beast of the East, a corporate, fashion, event, sports, entertainment, family, and lifestyle photographer. Obviously, Felix is highly creative, super cool, and has an eye for the dramatic. His work has appeared on over 1,000 magazine covers and tear sheets, including Ebony, Source, Double XL, Lowrider, Don Diva, Blades and Bars, and Rap Fanatic. His photos for publication includes hundreds of artists and celebrities. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson in trunks. Caesar Pina rising high above Times Square. Wendy Williams on the cover. Shaquille O'Neal on his bike. DJ Envy on a billboard. Boys in the Hood on a cover. Nicole Ari Parker in a high fashion shot. BET's Terrence and Roxy on a cover. Ice-T and his wife Coco on one of his many luxury cars. Also, Felix photographs have been featured multiple times on VH1's Love and Hip Hop, Black Ink Crew, and Growing Up Hip Hop and Stars. Recently, Felix opened an awesome, brand new, state of the art luxury digital recording, podcasting, and production multimedia studio in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, called Media City Studios. The story of how Felix got to be both a successful and famous photographer is quite a dramatic and amazing man on the wrong path, succeeding against all odds. Coming to you live.
Felix was recognized in 2021 for his remarkable work by the Southern Entertainment Awards as Photographer Journalist of the Year. His storied career began in Passaic, New Jersey, over 20 years ago.
Felix, I was one of your invited guests at the opening of Media City Studios. That's me touching those famous lips on the wall. Thanks for the invite.
It was my pleasure. I hope you guys and hope you enjoyed yourself that day.
It is truly an honor to have Felix Natal Jr. live as our first artist of the new season on Kweliworks Empowerment Broadcasting Network, the newest member of the Kweliworks faculty and family. we will definitely enjoy helping you launch your national tour where you will be sharing your incredible work and the message that you have for the youth and art lovers throughout the world. Welcome, Felix.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
And at the end of this program, Felix will have a very special offer just for today's audience.
Felix, you are coming to us live from Media City Studios in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. You have been dubbed as the Beast of the East by the hip hop community for your work. How did you get that handle?
Well, as you can see on that, my hat, it says NJ's hottest photographer. Um, I've been shooting artists since 1997, and everybody always used to say you Jersey's hottest photographer. And then once I just started shooting athletes and I guess more bigger artists, they're like, "Bro, you're way bigger than NJ's hottest photographer. You're the beast of the East." And it kind of just stuck, you know. So I remember when I was shooting Brandon Jacobs, that was his nickname, the Beast of the East, since he's the Giants. And I was like, and he's like, "Yo, you the
Mhm.
Beast of the East when it comes to photography." So
So
it just
let's
kind of.
take it a step back, Felix. When you were at risk, when you were a youth that was at risk, what put you at risk?
Oh man, I remember clearly, man. I got caught selling drugs 3 months before my 18th birthday, and I just remember just the judge telling me how I would have got 3 to 5 years per school zone. I got caught in three different school zones, so that's what made me realize I was like, man, I could have went to jail for just 10 years or more just for that, and my kids would have never been born. I would have never got a studio. Like how life would have been totally different. So that's why I always try to tell when I come into this the youth that all it takes is one bad decision. You hang out with the wrong kids that you like that want to stick people up or steal cars or whatever. And next thing you know,
Mhm.
you're going to jail for a long time, or they do a racketeering case and they lock up the whole block and everybody go to jail for 20 plus years. You know what I mean? So like, and then at a blink of an eye, that's it. Your life is gone. So just to try to show them that if they have some sort of gift or passion in the creative fields, then please, pour that same energy into that.
What enabled you to take control of your destiny and change your life's course?
Of course, seeing the disappointment look in my mom's face, and my parents in general, but specifically my mother. You know what I mean? And I just realized that I didn't want to let her down, and she was just always believed in me no matter what. So I remember, like I said, she worked multiple jobs just so I could go to school for photography and just to get me my first cameras. And I just remember how expensive just school was, like monthly, and then on top of that, just like all the supplies was like over $1,000 just for the supplies, not counting everything else. So I remember the pressure and the burden it put on her. So I strive to be the best I can for her.
That's awesome. Did you have a role model, and when did you know that you can make a living out of photography?
Well, my mom introduced me to my first role model, which was Jerry West, who was a customer at my mom's job, and he took me under his wing, taught me photography, and then got me into college and all that. Helped me get into college and put my portfolio together. As far as the money's concerned, I realized it once because I used to be work for an ambulance company, and once I realized just doing like two events on the weekend, I was making my whole week's salary. I was like, okay, something has to change, and eventually I opened up my first studio. I remember April 23rd, 2002, in Passaic, and through the grace of God, I haven't worked for nobody else ever since.
Right. I can testify myself that your work and your studio is even more breathtaking in person because I was there. What has been the reaction of the youth to your work?
Oh man, they're blown away by the facility. They're like, they can't believe they have all this in one place. So, between a music studio, event space, place for them to create, make videos, and take pictures. It's a little bit of everything. Even the podcast room now, since we added the podcast room. So it's like, at the end of the day, like you're giving them an opportunity, to go after the gifting. So that's been the best part about it. And then just seeing the reaction when they just see all the classic hip hop stuff, and they're like, I had someone tell me last week, they're like, bro, you collect some great magazines over the years. I said, what do you mean? They said, man, I had a bunch of these magazines too. And I said, I took every picture that you're looking at, right? And they're like, get out of here. They were like blown away. They're like, that's impossible. I'm like, nah, I literally took every picture you're looking at in this building. And then that's what really messed him up because he was just like, wow, I just thought it was just images you collected. So, no.
There is no question that you're an awesome corporate photographer, fashion photographer, sports photographer, events photographer, family photographer, and celebrity photographer. Unlike most specialists, you've mastered each field. I'll just take three and ask you one question. What was most challenging about mastering corporate photography and getting it to pay?
Well, corporate photography that's always the best pay. So I don't ever think there's an issue as far as payment is concerned. The only difference is depending on the company you're working for, you get paid quarterly sometimes. So sometimes that's just the difficult part about it. But then again, is the long days with corporate jobs. Depending on what you're doing, if you're doing conferences, master classes, or they have a whole day set up, you might start a day at 8 a.m. and go up to midnight. I've done that definitely. Definitely with many clients. I had one of my assistants today, Ryan, asked me, "What's a full day to you?" And I said, "Well, it depends on the client." And he goes, "I said, why you ask?" He said, "I'm doing the NFL draft this week, man, and I've been up like between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. going to like midnight, 1 in the morning." I said, "Oh, well, welcome to the industry." You know what I mean? That's a full day to them. You know what I'm saying? And you still get paid your regular day rate. So and then you'll get corporate jobs that are 8 hours, 10 hours, and then you're done. You know what I mean? So it depends. Each job is different. You can never compare it, one to another. To be honest with you.
Yeah, when I was teaching digital media production at Orlando Tech College, I told the students a, a basic day is 10 hours. Don't even think about 9 to 5 if you're going in this
Oh yeah,
business.
no,
What
definitely not.
about what's the challenge about fashion photography and getting that to pay?
Well, of course, every model thinks they're the best model on earth. So as you dealing with people's egos and
Divas.
stuff like that, yeah, divas or divos, depending. So, but once you get, I guess, past that, then it normally works out. Just the energy in the room. You have to dictate the shoot. Let them know like you're in charge of the shoot. This is what you're expecting, and just bring out the best in each model.
Finally, what about sports? What's challenging about doing that and getting it to pay?
Oh man, well, sports photography, of course, to me was always the most challenging because you think you would know where the client or well, let me say rephrase, the athlete is going to be, and then next thing you know, like let's just say it's the point guard, and he's coming down, and you're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm ready. And before you blink his eye, he went like three different crossovers, did a layup, and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even get the shot. It's just you got the blur. So you're like, oh my God, they go back and do it again. So, you get discouraged at first when you're first learning, and then you got to keep playing with keep bracketing and doing different exposures and shutter speeds. But, once you get the hang of it, it's no greater feeling than when you get that money shot.
Yeah. One
Definitely
thing,
my favorite photos are probably, I know I've talked about a black and white image, but definitely has been the action shots of sports, definitely.
tell me, one thing I know about working with celebrities is it's hard to get money out of them. They think working for them is a privilege by itself.
Of
Have
course.
you actually been able to get celebrities to actually pay you for the pictures you take of them?
Of course, yes. I'm not gonna say every single one of them did. I'm not gonna lie and say that because some of them will look at it, like you said, it's an opportunity depending on the situation. So if you feel like they could bring something to your business or your worth, then of course you'll barter with them. But if it's a client that they actually reached out to you and are looking for you to help build their brand or a specific project you're working on, then yes, you definitely better ask for that check and what's the budget and all that, and make sure you don't under charge because a lot of times they already have a budget for allocated for that, and then they'll tell you one number and then keep the rest. So try to stick to go always say aim high. Worst thing they could do is say no.
Yeah, I understand that one of your favorite celebrities was Shaq. You told me a story once of how they got you to shoot him.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's always one of my stories that I always tell because everybody's always talking about big money. So I said, okay, you want to hear a funny story? So I said, I get a phone call in the middle of the night. I remember clearly it was Thursday night. And they said, you want to go to Miami this weekend? And I said, sure. How much? They said, $150. I said, no, I'm not interested. Thank you. Hung up the phone. They called back and they said, well, you didn't give me a chance to tell you you're going to shoot. I said, I don't care who I'm shooting. I'm not going all the way to Miami, Florida for $150. You know what I'm saying? They were like, well, you're going to shoot Shaquille O'Neal. I said, what time was the flight? Again, and then I didn't know him. I was just, assigned to do the job, right? Went down there, met him, met D-Mac, who was his cousin, one of his managers as well. And we still have a relationship to this day. So it definitely was worth the trip. You know what I mean? The hell with the $150. The relationship that was made from it is priceless.
Well, what I always teach my students is opportunities are plentiful, relationships are rare.
Exactly. And that's the key to success is your relationships.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, what separates a professional photographer from a person with just an expensive camera?
Well, I always, everybody nowadays, they think they're a photographer because they just go ahead and buy cameras and stuff. It's like you got to know your lighting, your angles, your perspective, how to communicate. The most important thing, how to communicate with your subject. Because a lot of times there's photographers that don't even know how to dictate and control the pace shoot or how to bring out the best in the subject. So a lot of times making them feel comfortable. That's the key. The most important thing is making your client feel comfortable so that way you get the best results out of them.
Tell me, many models, in fact, every model needs a portfolio. What's the most important advice you have for models in selecting a photographer that will actually get them jobs and published as opposed to just having an expensive camera?
Well, of course, first of all, you're looking for someone that has an extensive resume in the area that you're trying to go in, number one. So if you're, like you said, they're trying to get published, they got to work with a photographer that's been published already or have relationships with magazines to open up the doors for them. You're not just going to go to some photographer down the street that has a local photo studio that has never, ever been published. Because then how is he going to help you? All he's going to do is just take your check and keep it moving. So most importantly is, again, finding someone that has experience, look up some models, see who they have worked with, find out how they are. Were they difficult? Were they disrespectful? Were they easy to work with? All those things. Those are things that are important. A lot of times I always say I get booked more, not just because of my work, it's because of how I treat people. I treat people like the way I want to be treated. So I always say that's the key to success.
Now, how much should a model today expect to pay for a portfolio? And is there a secret way to get a portfolio done free?
I mean, portfolios vary. Depends on who you shooting with. So, I mean, it could go anywhere from $800 to thousands of dollars. It depends on who you're working with. As far as getting it for free, yeah, you can do a whole bunch of test shoots, but again, you get what you pay for. So just make sure if you're gonna do a bunch of test shoots, make sure you got work with photographers that have great work, are reputable, could give you something to actually put in that portfolio. Because you turn around, spend all this money to get ready for the photo shoot, and then it goes down the drain.
Yeah, what is a test shoot exactly?
When, for example, a photographer just starting out, so a lot of times, so he can't afford to pay a model, so it's offer to give them a test shoot in return. So the model will get pictures in return for doing the shoot for the photographer. And
Now,
then as far, I'm sorry,
does
go
the
ahead.
photographer wind up owning those pictures?
Yes, the photographer always owns all the photos that he takes, unless that's discussed differently. But then, as far as then, when you're doing test shoots with celebrities, sometimes it might work out in your favor. So you'll say, okay, this artist, has either a big following or this artist is really hot right now and they'll give me exposure. So you'll say, let me do this test shoot with you to show you what I could bring to the table. And then after that, you guys could discuss about other projects and what it would cost to bring you on as part of their team.
Now, I noticed some truly outstanding shots of pregnant families in your archives. Is this a thing, or are you just extraordinarily talented in this area?
No, I mean, I believe it or not, it's probably one of, other than probably music and headshots, it's probably the next biggest part of my business. I get a lot of, expecting mothers that just be like, would you shoot me? Doing a pregnancy shoot. I did that for Kimbella from Love and Hip Hop about 10, 12 years ago. And ever since then, a lot of women always ask me to do that. I mean, I've done it even prior to that, since the beginning of my starting days, but even more since then. And since a lot of women now want to capture that moment, show how their body look like with the baby and all that stuff, or if their significant other, it's just, again, a big part of my business.
Felix, I loved your sizzle reel as well. When we return from this message, we'll take a peek. What are we seeing, Felix?
Seeing the behind the scenes of Texture Magazine's cover shoot with actress Nicole Ari Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Man, she was easy to work with, a beautiful person, inside and out, great spirit, great energy. Watching now behind the scenes of a charity game, a photo shoot with football player Mike Adams. Behind the scenes with a model shoot, R&B singer named Jasmine Joy.
Looks like a tough job.
Yeah, but someone got to do it, right? Yeah, this was a lifestyle shoot for her that we did. It was pretty cool shooting that night in the water. Believe it or not, this is December water too. This is not summer water. This is December. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a fear of heights, so my friends decided, they was like, well, let's do a photo shoot on a helicopter and see if we could kill his fear of heights. That didn't work out, but shoot was nice. Shoot was great.
Let me tell you, I've been a photographer. Shooting through a lens when you're in a helicopter, that's not easy.
Like as you see here, it's a tight space, and be honest, I'm shaking inside, even though I look calm and collective. And then just a bunch of models and personalities I've been blessed to work with. That's Tahiri Jose from Love and Hip Hop, Coco, Gloria Velez, Joanna Cherie, Jasmine Joy again, a model by the name of Rose, Ashley Logan, Coco, Ice-T's wife, R&B singer K. Michelle, Mob Wise Ramona Rizzo, Shaquille O'Neal, Boxer Kendall Holt, Shaq again.
Who knows they made a bike big enough for Shaq?
Yeah. Oh, they had to make it custom. Rapper Gucci Man. And me, a lot heavier.
Wow. Hot, hot, hot. That was smoking. And we know that's a tough job. Let's also add that Felix has opened his studio for creative people in his local community to rent the space for production, music videos, special events, yoga, dance classes, and etc. Let me ask you some quickies on your career. Do you remember your first style picture you took? The professional style picture? Professional style picture.
I lost your question. I'm sorry. Say your question one more time.
Do you remember the first professional style picture that you took?
Yes. It was a black and white photo that I took for my college class. That was one of my favorite ones, with a girl with a snake.
Yeah, that's bravery right there.
I remember because when I went to get my first studio in Passaic, I had those pictures, and you had to be an artist to qualify to get the loft. Once I pulled that picture out, they're like, "You're more than qualified." I remember I
Oh,
was get put all these pictures together, and for that,
for sure. What was the favorite photo you've taken?
I've been blessed to work with a lot of people, but I would say it'd be Gloria Velez for MTV Video Honeys, which was also a black and white photo. Um, Shaquille O'Neal, and probably 50 Cent. But I've been blessed to work with so many amazing people. But those are probably my and Ice T. Ice T almost forgot. Ice T. Definitely Ice T. Growing up a big fan of his, and then seeing him come into the studio. My parents excited because they were there. Seeing my mom just being able to take pictures with someone that she admired, it was dope.
For sure. What is your wife's favorite picture?
My wife's favorite is the family photo with Shaquille O'Neal and the time that she got an opportunity to meet Shaq. And then, of course, a young actor by the name of Michael B. Jordan. She actually remembers when he came to her house when he was on All My Children and The Wire, and just her being such a humongous fan of All My Children, and just him being in our kitchen, she was just ecstatic.
What are your children's favorites?
My children, Shaq as well, Shaq, Snoop Dogg, and 50 Cent. Yeah, 50 Cent too.
Yeah, I notice you are still doing black and white photography. Is black and white photography dead?
Of course not. Of course not. Definitely not. I mean, it brings out such classiness to the image. It depends on what you're shooting too. Sometimes the textures. I personally like black and white, especially when we're shooting on location. So again, it depends on the photographer, but I would definitely not say it's definitely not dead.
I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Message, Felix, do you have a message for parents who may have children that want to pursue photography? And of course, the parents want a more practical career than photography.
Yes. Well, first of all, I get it. I mean, I'm a parent of four myself.
Right.
About to be actually about to be a grandfather in September.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So yeah, so being, I definitely been there. If your kids have an interest in the fine arts, I would say at least give them an opportunity to try it first. So, for example, if they're someone that's interested in becoming a music artist, take them to the music studio, see how they do. Like if they're really serious about it, or they was it you felt like your time was wasted, then you say, "Look, I took you to the studio, and you didn't do nothing productive with it." You know what I'm saying? Or I took you to the photo studio and to take pictures, and it wasn't even paying attention to the photographer that was giving you lessons. So why would I even keep investing into you? But give them the opportunity first. Give them the opportunity first to show them that, and then if you see that, keep pouring into them because you never know. I get it, but not everybody could be a doctor, a lawyer, and this day and age, man. There's so many people spending so much money to go to college and still can't get a job. So I mean, if your child has, you feel like the talent and the gifting, then you definitely owe them that opportunity to at least pour into them.
I agree, Felix. This question is for the ladies. When you began, most photographers were men. Are you seeing a change for women who dream of being photographers?
Oh, definitely, man. There's a lot of hot female photographers killing it. You know what I'm saying? So some of my favorite photographers are actually females. So Miss Hatton is a great photographer. Does a lot of aerial shots, a lot of concert stuff. Um, she's a sniper, Jill. She's dope. She does like a lot of concert stuff as well. Oh my God, Julie Beverly, which is a big journalist for urban magazines for over 20 years as well.
Yes,
There's so many great, talented female photographers, and they're definitely on the rise,
yes,
even more.
I agree.
Hmm.
I agree. So I know that you're preparing to give talks throughout the world and the country to young artists and their parents, older aspiring artists, entrepreneurs who are artists, and you have three talks. I just want to go over some of these so that people can actually have a clue. The first talk is your story, the rise of the beast of the East. What will you cover in this talk?
Again, just like I said earlier about decisions, like of course how only one bad decision could take you down the wrong way. So just to no matter what, stick to your goal, your dreams, keep going after it, no matter how it looks at times. It's gonna look, it might not look promising at certain points in your life, but you, no matter what, you keep striving, moving forward, and never to take no for an answer, no matter what. If you believe in something strong enough, then you keep going after it.
Right. And live your passion.
And definitely live your passion. If you
Your
put
second
passion
talk,
first, you can never go wrong.
go ahead.
I said if you always put your passion first, you could you never work a day in your life.
That's right. Your second talk is how to make photography pay as a career. What will you cover in that talk?
Again, setting price points, sticking to you know your guns as far as when you're starting out with clients. You have to dictate the price point to your whether it's a celebrity or regular client. Be professional, be on time, treat people the way you want to be treated, and you have repeated customers.
I agree. Your third talk will focus on how to navigate in a world of celebrity, photography, and the music industry. Sounds like a lot of insider secrets and know-hows. What's that talk about?
That's again like again sticking to your guns, knowing that you're going to deal with certain clients that are going to try to take advantage of you. If you believe in your skill set, your talent, then you stick firm to your price. If they believe in you and they want to work with you, they're going to pay it. So just no matter what, don't let them dictate you from your price.
Right. We think your work is spectacular, and we spoke to several people who really appreciate your art. And this is a sampling of what they had to say. Mia, would you please drop those testimonials?
He's done photo shoots for my son. Uh, for me, Felix is one of those people that you can always rely on. He's very humble, very respectful, and if he can help you, he'll help you. All right. So you don't go from Felix started. Let me say, yeah, Felix started off doing photo shoots for people in his living room slash dining room. And then, as the time went on, he got better. He learned more. He made more contacts. He made more money. He ended up moving to the living room in his house. And then he ended up getting a separate place. And now he's running a multimedia studio. And he has Hey everybody, my name is Kendall Hope. I'm from Paterson, New Jersey. I'm the former WBO junior welterweight champion of the world in boxing. I was introduced to Felix back in 2003. I had a big fight coming up, and a friend of mine, Johnny Rodriguez, took me to Felix because I needed some headshots, some photos for a flyer to promote my boxing fight at Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden is one of the biggest venues for sports and entertainment in the world. So that's how me and Felix met. Fast forward 18 years later, Felix has been one of my best friends. He's traveled outside the country to come take pictures of my fights. He's taken pictures. He's done photo shoots for me, my artists, a few of my musician artists that I used to manage. He's done photo shoots for my son. For me, Felix is one of those people that you can always rely on. He's very humble, very respectful, and if he can help you, he'll help you.
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Lady Luck. What can I say about Felix that wouldn't take less than an hour? He's one of the greatest friends I've ever been blessed with. inside the industry, outside the industry. He's the first photographer in New Jersey to take pictures of me. I don't even know what the hell I was wearing that day. I was like some gangster cowgirl or something. And no matter where I was at in life, and I've experienced many hardships, my friend has never treated me differently. Whether I needed a photo shoot, whether I needed to just come through and shoot a video, anything I always needed, he always had open doors. And I just thank God for his friendship. So I just pray for much success. May God enlarge in his territory beyond his wildest dreams. I love you, Felix.
Okay. My name is Jonathan Soto. I'm a pastor of a church in northern New Jersey called Urban Hope. I know Felix since 2003 when I was a city councilman. He took pictures for me for my campaign. And then later on, I developed a relationship with Felix over the years. He has taken pictures of not only me when I first met him, but now he's taking pictures of my family personally. He's taken pictures of my whole church. And even the guests that have come to our church for many years, he's actually also been able to go to their places of worship and been a photographer that now is all these places. So he's a tremendous blessing.
Hi, my name is Miguel Perdomo, and I'm from Patterson, New Jersey. I've been working with Felix now, I want to say 22 years, going on 23. We've been working together since 97. He's the reason why I launched my first modeling portfolio. I didn't know anything about modeling till I met Felix. I didn't even know that you can make this a profession. So I spoke to him and, he was like, listen, I'm a photographer. I do this, I help people build their portfolios. I'm like, what the hell is a portfolio? And then he taught me, back in 97, what a portfolio is and what is needed for, I didn't know that was your business card. So when we met back in 97, I want to say, it took me like about 2 years roughly to get my portfolio the way I needed to get it. But I love Felix so much because he was very accommodating and very helping. Like, it's for me, I'm like, I can't be that calm, man, because I was always intrigued by how people make a living for themselves, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the celebrity, it's just like, wow, you made it to this doing what you love. That's amazing, and I always wanted to gravitate to that. So of course, when me and Felix met, our relationship was always like brotherly love, always. He's like my older brother. And I have so much respect for Felix. Like, the things that I've learned in modeling, I pass down now to the younger models because, the things that he taught me while being on set.
Hi, I'm Katina Hilton, here to talk about my dear friend, Felix Natal Jr., and how we met and the beginning stages of his career in photography. So they were looking for a photographer. I was the marketing director. I remember, approaching Felix about coming on board with us as the photographer and just pitching to him the opportunity. And he came on board. And from there, I introduced him to Rich Nice, who was a friend of mine at the time. And he was also one of the founders of Trackmasters and became a Grammy Award-winning producer and I believe Tony Award-winning producer. And so his connections were broad. So he agreed to, let Felix shoot him. Rich Nice introduced Felix to Nas. And I can say, I guess, the rest is history. Because that's what launched Felix's career in the music industry as a photographer. And that grew into other areas like sports, fashion, and so forth. And he never, ever, ever doubted himself, questioned himself. He was always confident, but humble in his capabilities and talents. So he believed in himself more than anyone. And that is so important for anyone that's looking to pursue their dreams, you cannot, under any circumstance, allow someone else to deter your vision of being great. And that's what he's done. And I'm so very proud of him.
Powerful. I'm super proud of you, Felix. This is why we are pleased to announce today that at Kweliworks, this team has agreed in spreading your message of art worldwide. Please contact me if you want to book Felix or show his work in your city or country. For more information on Felix or any of our empowerment educators, contact me at facebook.com/Kweliworks or kweliworks@gmail.com or 973-498-8849.
Felix, you have a website where people can see more of your work and get notice of your special exhibitions, how to rent your facility. Would you share that website with our audience now?
Sure. My personal website for my photography is Felix, Felix, Natal, NatalJR.com. And then we have MediaCityStudio.net is for the facility. So I appreciate everyone their support.
You're very welcome. Would you share your special offer that you have for the people that are watching the show?
Okay, yes. So normally to shoot with me is normally the minimum is $1,000. So for the rest of the month of May, I'm gonna give away 2 looks with headshots for $500 that mention Kweliworks. So anyone that mentions you guys in Beast to the East photo is the code word. You get the deal for $500.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, Felix, for coming to us live all the way from Media City Studios in Lyndhurst, New Jersey.
No problem. Thank you for having me, guys. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Media City Studio, at Felix Natal. I appreciate you guys for having me on your show. Thank you. God bless.
If you would like more information on Felix and his work, you can catch him in the current online issue of Mia Allman's KUOmagazine.com. That's him on the cover. And thank you to our audience for joining us on the episode of our second show. Let us know what you think.
Felix, Godspeed as you continue to share your work around the world. I know you love talking to young people and they love listening to you. Before leaving today, do you have any words of wisdom young people would like who would like to follow in your footsteps that you could help them with?
Oh, man, please, no matter what, don't ever give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. If you're really passionate about something, keep going after it. Whether it's photography, videography, music, engineering, whatever, try to find a role model or someone that you could do an internship with, and just keep going after your goals, no matter what.
It is truly our pleasure to have you here on the show. I'm Katherine Maruri-Love for Living the Life You Love, coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida.
And I'm Kuj for Kweliworks, coming to you from Orlando, Florida. Free your mind and empower yourself.
And until next time, live passionately. I am excited to officially announce that as we speak, Kweliworks is setting up the Kweliworks Empowerment Broadcasting Network. This institution will assist development groups in the U.S. and around the world to set up their own empowerment television channels. Our licenses and software enable these channels to be accessed through Roku, Amazon Fire, Chromecast, or Apple TV, thus ultimately giving us access to potentially 250 million subscribers. As part of that effort, we are launching our own Kweliworks self-empowerment channel in the first quarter of 2022. I hope you are as excited as we are. So stay tuned, as the game has indeed changed. And for those who are interested in subscribing to our network, getting involved with this effort as a program producer, becoming an affiliate, or setting up your own independent TV channel, email us at kweliworks@gmail.com.
E12 on the beat.
So that's why I was like hesitant. I just ran because I thought it was coming on. It said